So round 3 is done and dusted, and for the Women's Six Nations, we now have to wait 2 weeks until the next round of fixtures. But for me personally, at least I finished with a strong fantasy score of 726. Some players were brilliant, and some didn't even play. So I guess I broke the number 1 rule of not checking the team sheet close enough to the game. In my defence, they were named in the team, but then had to withdraw. So let me know down in the comments how you guys got on this week. Also, apologies for the voice, I've had a bit of a croaky throat, so hopefully you can bear with it, but let's see how I did this round. So first up is the front row, and overall I'm definitely happy. I don't usually get 30 to 40 plus points, returns from my props, but that's exactly what happened this week. And it wasn't just Tunezi and Dujigang that performed well. Sarah Byrne got over 70 points and Batoni also over 60. So overall it was a pretty decent round for the props, and this has definitely opened my eyes to how the props can elevate my points total in future. And Scaldon at hooker was also okay. Almost 20 points in a loss to France isn't too bad. I was expecting the loss before, and also the little points, but overall it's not too bad. The second row for me also was probably a disaster. Crab with only 9 points, and Duka she didn't even play. So these two are definitely a write-off. There were also so many good options that I could have had as well, like Ward for England and Monaghan for Ireland, who both got woman of the match. The back row, again, was pretty decent apart from Gross, who didn't get many points at all, even though France won away from home. Of course, I'm happy with Packer and Matthews, who scored a try. Other picks that were decent in this round were the likes of McMahon and Wall for Ireland. But other than that, I think I was pretty spot on with all my picks for the back row, obviously apart from Gross. My halfbacks were also good. Flood kicked superbly for Ireland and almost got 40 points for me. And of course, Sansus scored 2 amazing tries in the first half, but she did actually have to come off early. It's amazing how she got 65 points and didn't even play the whole game. She's definitely a player to keep in mind for future rounds. Many are comparing her to Dupont, and I can definitely see why. My centres were brilliant too. Jacquet scoring almost 50 points with no try, and Higgins with almost 60 points and a try. Both were definitely decent returns, and I can't be mad at that at all. The other standout centre was of course Emily Scarrett, who almost scored 100 points. Looking back, I definitely should have had her in my team, and Sarah Byrne. I was debating with these two, but stuck with my original side. But fair play to Scarrett, and she got over for a late try as well. My back 3 were also decent. McKenna probably could have done slightly better for me. She got into great positions and almost scored at least 2 tries, but didn't quite get there. Parsons' return was pretty good for me with almost 50 points without a try, which is really good. And of course my captain, the right pick, as she was my highest scoring player of the round, was Breach. She got herself 2 tries on her return to England. She could have had more and probably more involvements in the game, but I can't be mad with her score. My bench was disappointing for me. Concours not so much because she just always seems to put a good shift in, but Vernier came on so late for France. I was just waiting for her to be brought on. If anyone saw the game, France actually had a clear 2-on-1 in the final minutes, and Vernier was on the outside, but the pass to her was just awful and didn't go to hand, so Vernier didn't score. Of course, Kildun absolutely smashed it because Dow came off early for her injury, so in hindsight I should have kept with an English super sub like I did in previous rounds, but I'll have to just keep that in mind moving forward. So that's the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, then please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll actually be bringing out Champions Cup and Challenge Cup reviews this week as the round of 16s kicked off. So be sure to stay tuned and turn notifications on so you don't miss it. Thanks for all your continued support, and I'll see you all in the next one.